Hello and welcome back. So I have let this run for a while now. Yeah, and it is stably producing our 315 furnaces. The lights are, yeah, I think I could probably delete off one, perhaps two of these copper machines and everything would work. I may do that during fine tuning. However, I'm not going to do it right now because what I care about right now is the steel build. And what I've done is take a swipe of this, except not running, just so we've got something to build around for when we get a steel build, if we want to mesh the two together. Right, so the way that steel works when you have... Let's put down a steel. Okay, that's a steel smelter. So it's going to request iron plate. It's got productivity in it, so it's going to produce more steel than it takes in plate. Except there's a factor of 5 in there because it takes 5 iron plates to make 1 steel. Anyway, you get the general idea. What I'm going to do for ease of working is take that and make a new copy of it with an icon steel. Then I'm going to take this book because it's really difficult to see the icons on these things. This is hopefully an iron smelter. Yeah, there we are. Okay, let's take a new blueprint. Okay, and set its icon to iron. Okay, so I'm going to show this as a sort of embodied bar chart. Okay, so this is our steel build, and where are we? That's steel. Where did I? No, that's that build. So where on earth have I put? Seriously? Right, let's put that down. This is definitely the iron build, isn't it? Okay, let's grab that. Set its icon to iron. I've just cancelled that, haven't I? Iron. Okay. Okay, now if we run max rate over these two, we can't do it because I need to feed them back. Okay, and this needs iron ore. Now we can max rate them. Okay, so we have an excess of iron plate because the iron plate has prog mods in. Now, the steel machine takes 5 plates, but it runs at 1/5 of the machine of the iron plate machine. So without prog mods, that all balances out. With prog mods, you are producing extra iron plate. So let's literally build this as an embodied chart. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of these, and let's get our plate. There we go. Is sufficient to run 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then the 20% bonus is 5 lots of 20% bonus is 1 more machine. Okay, and just to show you that this is correct, it's zeroed out. Okay, now the standard Megabase build for for steel is to do a direct insert. It's you can do it in this sort of layout if you like, and you can put in beacons here and do it via intermediate boxes. I'll just mock it up. I'm not going to build the whole thing. Okay, so you'd have an input here for iron ore and an output here for steel plate. And then you'd have an intermediate box here which you would cap. And then you'd prog mod these up because you want to cut down on the amount of material that's going in, but then this is only running 5/6 of the time. And it's a 10 beacon build. Okay, this is a 12 beacon build. The cost is that you are moving all of your materials by bot. The benefit is you're getting that extra 1/5 of performance out. So you're cutting down on the total number of machines. Now, I don't know if that actually matters, but what you're not doing is cutting down on arms. So this has one arm in, one arm out, one arm in, one arm out. And we have the one in, one out on both of these. The other way to build it is a... right. Right, let's get some long arms. Where are we? There. Okay, so then we have an input here. This is requesting in iron ore. So let's put the iron ore there. That's it. So you have a requester here for iron. And then you have a box here for the steel. Whoops, there you go. Okay, and then this is an 8 beacon build. Yeah, like that. Let's put prop mods in everything. And let's put some plates in these two. Okay. So, let's take one of these machines. So this is producing at 55 plates a minute. Okay, let's put ore in there and iron plate in there so they are matched up. So that's 55 versus 46. Okay, so 46 to 55, we already have an 8 to 12 ratio. 4 to 3. Is that 4 to 3? No, it's even worse than that. It's 3 to 2. Okay, so it's a 3 to 2 ratio. So we would need 3 of these builds for every 2 of these. So you would need way more machines. Okay, and this, let's max rate just those. This is only producing 38 for this pair. Now, let's do it in longhand inserters. Yeah, so we're fine for longhand inserters to be passing across here. That's not a problem. But you can see, so this is, I've probably got the ratios wrong. Right, so this produces 0.9 a second, 55 a minute. This produces 46 a minute. And this produces 38 a minute. Okay. So even the 56 to 48, that's still a massive gap. And it means we've got all these extra arms which are moving for the extra machines. And that's not taking into account that we then have extra iron plate machines. Now, it is possible to build this out so that the iron plate feeds in both directions. Like this. But you start running out of real estate. Okay, so there are ways to finagle this. I'm not saying it's a hopeless cause. It can be done. But it's not pretty, and it kind of makes baby Jesus cry a bit, I think. So although this uses less space, and this uses less beacons, and it's this uses direct insert, which does cut down, basically the whole thing doesn't work. Okay, so the one other way you can do this is if you replace this with a buffer chest. Sorry, where are we? So buffer chest, right. So then you can have one cell which is, so this would be steel. Sorry, this will be a steel build. It can be outputting its steel into this box, which is also requesting ore. There we go. So then the ore gets fed into these two. Then we use long arms to pass it across. Right, and then you've got your next pair of machines there, and you can use the buffer chest to, yeah. Well, it looks like this needs its own, but you get the idea. So you can do things with buffer chests which allow you to, basically you can have a long, and then a buffer, and then a long, like that. I've mucked up this build, but you get the idea. So the buffer chests let you free up alternate squares as both requests and offers. Anyway, I have the feeling that this is the better build because they are running faster and because you need fewer machines. So I'd rather have fewer live entities, even if the entities are working harder, even if they're making the bots work harder. Because I've got a feeling there'd be just as many bot trips here in total, but spread over a much bigger build area. So this, I think, is more efficient. Okay, so I'm going to nuke these. Now, the other thing, this is what happens if you build these independently of one another. However, we can perhaps be better organized than that. So that is a steel, then a plate. Steel, plate. Steel, plate. Steel, plate. Steel, plate. Steel. So this should be 11 wide. Brilliant. Now, the beauty of an 11 wide build is that it is the perfect size for smelters. Let's mark all these just so we can see what's going on. Okay, so this row here should be balanced. Yeah, there you are. This produces 330 and nets out. Okay, this whole thing here consumes 1929. Ugh. Right, and what did we say this produced? No, I'm looking at the wrong number here. Let's try again. We have, sorry. Uh, 3,150. That's better. Divided by. 330. Well, that's 10, isn't it? Okay. 10 with a bit of rounding. So we need 10 of these rows. Okay. Now, in a normal build, let's get a new blueprint. Right, and we're going to give this the icon of steel iron. Okay, so a new normal build would have 3 of these, and then 3 of the other type. That would be 6. We need 10 in total. So what about if we had 3, 4, 5, and then we had 2 builds like that? That would be 10, wouldn't it? So 2 builds like this is the right number of builds. And this here, let's take it, would fit quite nicely on here. So I think this is our solution. I think this is the way I'm going to do it. We could even put it around this way and possibly move part of the build down here. Anyway, we can figure this out. I think this is the way to go. And then we can have a couple of bridging boxes just between those 2 logistics areas you can see there that pass the material over from build to build. Then we can get rid of the steel train in the middle, which would make the build tighter and thus reduce our bot charging. So this is a really short episode. Next time we will build this thing and test it and see if it works. And if it does, we will declare the furnace build done, and then we will start looking at the refinery. Okay, so I'm gonna call that there. Let's auto trash these. I don't need all these. That's it. So thanks very much for watching. Until I see you next time, keep yourself safe, like, subscribe, tell your friends, and I will see you again soon. Bye-bye.